There is a lot of cards that can buff it up on top of the argument, and Victor could stay alive here. But unfortunately, the card that he got was a slow spell that gives the unit frostbite.
Yeah, Buy Attack is just putting the pressure down, putting the cards on the stack and forcing Kaiser to respond. The more spells and generated things that I get out of you in the early game, or less things that might come back to bite me late in the game when I really am desperate to push lethal. Here comes another Fallen Feline. There's still the option for the iterative improvement. If we can get a double or triple Hexite Crystal to wipe the board, Kaiser can take over this game.
I think this has to be game plan. Just just the crystals, and going for like the triple crystal in the deck, and just looking for the like double crystal with Seraphine on the board, and just pray that opponent doesn't remove your Seraphine. Like the problem is we are going to the turn 6. The biggest power play for the deck is just Harpy with the quick attack weapon, and it's gonna be extremely hard to deal with.
Yes, we've got Caught in the Cold coming, just to put Vulnerable on the Vein.
That's gonna be a dead Vein
image here.
We're gonna have a final follow-up.
Beautiful. The random spell from Seraphine actually did come together here. You have to be able, as a player, to adapt to these extra resources and weave them into your game plan. So Kaiser has actually managed to keep things pretty even, and as we head into turn 6 and beyond, you know, the back alley bar becomes a priority for Kaiser to pull ahead in this matchup. Seraphine 4 out of 9 for her level.
Very safe play for Baya. The only good answer for that is Hex Obliterator, which Kaiser does not have in the deck. So Baya feels very comfortable playing the Harpy here and gonna start swinging. And we have 0 blockers for Kaiser, and yeah, it's gonna be rough. So what he can, oh, he's 1 mana short. He didn't land it far, because what he could have done was secure 7 mana and play Tellstones and transform his Harpy into 2/2 instead, and then he could solve the problem. But like, Quietus.
Now Kaiser can buy a little bit of time. We have the Quietus now. You can destroy the weapon on the Harpy, maybe try to take it down. But again, even when you destroy the weapon, you still have to deal with the Harpy's, you know, the actual body of the unit, right?
Yeah, but at this point you just take the damage. It's okay. And you just play to win. The problem is you don't have Crystal, and you'll probably need to progress the next turn. Oh wow, he's blocking.
Sacrifices the Seraphine here. Oh. Do you take 12 or...
I mean, okay, so there is a play. You can block here, and then you can follow up with the iterative, copy his 1-drop, and then that 1-drop is 3 damage. So basically, you disable whole opponent's attack.
Hopefully Kaiser sees the line, decides to just take 6.
It's not just 6. I mean, he sees the line, but he didn't want to use the Seraphine.
I think from this position, especially with so few cards in hand, we absolutely need the Seraphine to be alive, to double down on whatever value that might be drawn out of the list. And now the Harpy alive as a 6/1. This is so devastating because once a weapon goes on the Harpy, it fully heals itself if it were to go down while equipped.
It doesn't have a weapon, so if there is no catch, and if he tries to rally here, it's not gonna work out. But we see a top deck Defector, which he can utilize to rally.
I wonder if he's gonna take the safe play and just directly equip this Darkened Harp we see in the hand.
I think he can take it slow and just play 1-drop to fish for information. Oh, he decided to just play the weapon.
Okay, and that also tutors the Aatrox. We now have an 8/1 with Scout. This forces Kaiser into a very sticky situation. Attacks with the Acorn first, just as a passing play. Wants to keep a little bit of mana open, see what Buy Attack is thinking of, and here comes the tumble.
There was a different play. He could have played the Tellstone, then attack with Acorn, and then he could transform on the stack Harpy. Because he could have discounted the spell from the Tellstones to 5 mana.
And now this blood-cursed Harpy is running shot over Kaiser's board. It basically eats the weapon in order to fully heal itself.
Oh, it's not gonna
stout unit.
It's not only gonna eat weapon, it's gonna eat that Seraphine as well.
Yeah, now you are forced to block. Kaiser left with 1 Piltover Tellstones in the hand.
I mean, the plan is progress day. That's his all-in play at this point, if he committed to this. Looking for the probably a missing shot this turn.
Yeah, we have now the burst speed draw because Harpy's coming back through with the attack token. Buy Attack just thinking, do I want to respect here? There's only 2 cards in the hand. Do I want to just scout? You might as well. 8 mana open, Aatrox in hand. Here comes the progress day.
I mean, there is no possible out. Oh no, sorry, Crystal. He
Не
played
лезь в
Nightwing,
драку,
he
если
could have
противник
Crystal
тебе не по
on the
зубам.
deck.
And unfortunately, Kaiser comes up empty, and the blood-cursed Harpy, the unsung extra champion in this deck, just took so many cards and resources from Kaiser. And that's the big strength of that card, just the pressure and the amount of resources you have to dump into removing it. Badge Attack looking very confident and cozy, just like you said, Alan.
Yeah, I mean, when you are from the winning driving seat, like what you gonna worry about? You're just playing for the practice at this point and for the nice, juicy 3-0.
And now, by Attack gets to play his own Seraphine
Oh,
deck.
that's really fun to watch.
The last time we saw this on the stream, he played Aphelios on Curve, and that value carried.
Oh, that's such a disgusting cut from Kaiser. Oh, but if there is Victor on top, now with that miscall, that's gonna be absolutely insane. You pass here, you don't pressure with the cat. Like you want to press. Like the thing is, if this cat is not dying and you top the Victor, you really want to utilize that miscall. Pushing the damage here is not as important because you won't be pushing that much damage.
Especially against value Targon, we're going to be seeing a lot of Severum and just potential healing generated off of Seraphine and her fam. But Fallen Felon's going to push 2 damage. We'll see if Kaiser is, especially after that last game, how impactful the Hexite Crystal would have been. Maybe he's getting a little bit of tunnel vision, wanting to get that powerful card on his side for this matchup.
Buff price recognize that it's just passing until turn 4. When do you like it just asks, do you have Victor? No, you don't. Oh yeah, I'm gonna pass as well. It's a little, there's a lot of passing until turn 5, and it's usually the best play is just Fan Club into Barkeep, and the game starts.
Yeah, this game is going to explode. Once the back alley bars come through, By Attack has one more turn to draw a back alley barkeep just to keep up with the potential value generation.
He has Aftershock. It's not much about the value, it's about tempo.
Okay.
Because value, you'll get value, you'll have enough value. The problem is, okay, that's a bit too early, Seraphine. Definitely in this matchup, you don't want to, like, even though she's not dying here most likely, you don't want to drop her that early because later she'll be for free. It's not like you're saving mana. You'd rather play here 7 mana spell even, and just follow up with Barkeep than play Seraphine.
That is true.
She doesn't do anything here.
Yeah, if you play back alley bar into back alley bar, we're starting to see a lot of these 2 mana spells become 0 mana. And Kaiser had already pushed through a little bit of damage with the P-line. I think that you could certainly take 4 here.
Yeah, definitely. Next turn, we're gonna see the Barkeep. Fortunately, Baya has an Aftershock and answer, but there will be a second Barkeep coming down, and Baya doesn't have his own.
And because, you know, By Attack doesn't have tons of mana floated, we use the Aftershock in response, and it still sets things even.
Oh wow, and another Aftershock. So if there is like any Barkeep drawn by Baya, it's not gonna stay on the board for a very long time.
And so players just, again, respecting the back alley bars, don't want them to stick around and give value. A random card generated. I see a Zenith Blade now for Kaiser to take advantage of. Some Overwhelm maybe coming into play later on.
Oh, that's
but
for Victor.
Without the back alley bar in this matchup, it does certainly come down to Victor, if you think.
Yeah, definitely saved up for Victor for potential lethal later on as just a cheese win. But this will be very grindy. It come down who levels up Seraphine on the board, and with the Barkeep on top. Like Seraphine on her own with after leveling is not as the big of a threat as after having it after Barkeep, having at least 1 mana spells.
And by attack, also we see the Pursuit of Perfection in hand. Again, we saw a glimpse of that Cataclysm at the end of his other set. Just a big 30-30 with Overwhelm, potentially doubled with Seraphine with enough discounts.
There is a win con, exactly, Reggie into Glorious Evolution. That would be excellent play. We don't see it. Ooh, Celestial Impact, that's an answer for the Barkeep. Okay.
Another Obliterate, you can use it on a unit or a landmark, a little bit of healing.
Definitely epic. There is no. Oh wow, he went for the
Shock Blast. Okay, so now that By Attack has this wide board, it looks like he is thinking about a very aggressive beatdown strategy.
I think he was planning with the Shock Blast to come down if opponent plays second Barkeep. But then again, do you prefer Shock Blast or would you rather remove the landmark? That's the question. And I guess he wants to go a bit more aggressive if you see another Barkeep, so you can slam Shock Blast on 2 free units.
Yeah, we saw this earlier from Biotech as well, where he let his opponent just bounce a Katarina, right? Knowing that once I kind of get a hold of the tempo, you just won't be able to play that 6-mana slow skill. But because we have the Mystic Shot and the high note here, plus blockers, Kaiser still has mana open to play now. This back alley bar can generate 2 cards from the back alley barkeep that it creates, as well as getting another 3/3 on board to keep fighting.
I was looking forward to hit this gem, but just because of the cat. So, what's the game plan for Baya? We can see Moonsliver, we can see cat. So all Baya needs is one barkeep, Seraphine leveled, and he can play double cat.
Добро пожаловать в ущелье призывателей.
So that's the general plan now for the Baya for sure. You're gonna keep your Moonsliver, you're gonna try to get Seraphine on board, and yeah, that's the problem. One barkeep down, so your combo pieces are not gonna be easily assembled.
Tempting prospect off of the back alley bar.
It's a Seraphine proc. Like, it wasn't very likely to hit, considering Baya has very few followers in the deck.
Yeah, tons of spells, of course, that wouldn't hit. Just a little bit of progress. And now, does Kaiser go for any sort of shenanigan here? Maybe offering up the trade with this back alley barkeep, going for a miss call, just generating tons of cards, trying to make it happen.
You want to play Song Spinner as soon as you can. Like, you don't want to generate random cards. You want to, like, you basically, Kaiser should be looking for emptying his hand.
Okay.
He can play Song Spinner as soon as he can. So probably Cat. Cat looks very clean. You can utilize maybe Sonic Wave. Sonic Wave probably you want
I like saving the Sonic Wave Resonating Strike with the Zenith Blade. There is still a Victor combo kind of cooking here for Kaiser. Meanwhile, Biotech has, you can see, a very reactive, very responsive hand. He's just looking to remove things, and Kaiser still gets a little bit of love from these units before they go down. Seraphine, once again, 4 out of 9.
It's more important to level up Seraphine than save it up for the later, most definitely. And we're gonna probably see take a Sonic Wave so he can level up to get his cat sooner.
Oh, but uses Spell Thief to get Aftershock to answer the back alley bar. Biotech is, again, has shown wants to keep as much of the game under his control as possible, and so is getting rid of this value, wants to be able to stay on top of the opponent's mana here.
I mean, barkeep is what allows you to do crazy things with yourself. Like, removing that is up to the must, especially if you see that, okay, if opponent has 2 cards, 3 cards, sure, you can leave it there. But if opponent has a full hand, I definitely don't want it to hang out.
Oh, wow. The ballistic bot coming through, a little bit of extra pressure, never hurt, just a little bit of slow burn is going to keep scaling. If, you know, based on all this random generation, we start getting the camo cloaker or some orcs map that may, or ambush, right, it maybe does become an elusive threat down the road. And
you play so many generated cards that you get the value out of the augmented in the more grindier matchups. You get the discard value, you get on top of that card the Justification that allows you to play Cat sooner, like, and it allows you to level up Seraphine. So like, bot does a lot of things in a deck. It serves similar purpose to Clamp Wamp in the SI version of the deck, a PNZ version of the deck.
Right, just having that extra spell is very important. And Kaiser fishing now. Ooh, the time break picks up the Hexite Crystal and gets the back alley bar. Biotech contains the first 2, and it looks like there's enough tempo here to play this one down without any repercussions.
Oh, for sure.
Gorlith, the unscalable.
Listen, disintegrate. He can answer 2 hits. That's great.
And now the Shock Blast. This was picked up earlier from the Ferris Financier. Seeing a little bit of play here, trying to head off the Seraphine before she levels up. Takes out a 3/3, lines up very clean.
Does he gamble with the East? That's the question. 50-50 to hit Seraphine. Oh,
ooh, Kaiser goes for it. Let's flip the coin. Which one do you want, Alan?
I would take Barkeep. Yeah, easy. Oh, it's like my homie.
And the defective swap bot being added to the hand.
Yeah, definitely over Seraphine.
Swaps its stats with another unit. So Biotech, if he goes for the pursuit, the swap bot can become a 30-30 instead. Unbelievable.
The question is, can he answer double craft afterwards? He would need to have exactly 10 mana, and he does. If Baya goes for the cat. Oh wow,
Gorlith, the unscalable, swaps its HP with the Nexus. So now Kaiser only losing 1 HP, but now there's a 0-13. And Gorlith is formidable. That means it's going to strike using its HP rather than its power, and it cannot be blocked with anything that has less HP. Kaiser threatening 13 damage. Biotac has to remove this.
The really cool thing is you need to develop threads before you play Crystal, because now opponent doesn't develop anything. Like you can keep developing and then slam Crystal, opponent will have no blockers. So it's important to queue up your threads first, and we see stun burst. That just turns off the unit. You have just,
Yeah, you just silence it, deal a bunch of damage, and so this weakens the Gorlith, but also takes Formidable away from it for this turn.
I mean, it kills the unit pretty much. You just dealt one to yourself.
It's almost like a stun, right? Just keep it from hitting me this turn. Kaiser responds with the Hexite Crystal, still threatening a lot of damage being pushed through here.
Really good play on the stack, so you are allowed to push more. Oh, he doesn't go for it. So he's keeping it for later.
Oh no, but Kaiser actually still puts out the Gorlith, not recognizing that it can just be blocked for free. Perhaps Kaiser is trying to bait something here, thinking if you just block this way, maybe I push through a little bit more damage along the sides, but by attack, the board is still being cleared, and that's what Kaiser wanted all along.
So he wants to finish it off.
Moonsilver discounting the Pursuit of Perfection, slowly but surely Biotac trying to put together that forbidden combo.
Wait, is there?
I didn't get a glimpse at what the progress is for the Pursuit of Perfection, but it's gotta be close. Biotac with no champions yet, if I'm recalling correctly.
Ooh, we have a drum solo top deck that might be big. Will we see a Seraphine drop? Yes, that's pretty good. And Thurston is not too shabby as well.
Okay, now we're back in business. Aphelios is known for his ability to essentially 1v5. If your opponent is trying to run a board-based strategy with Calibrum and Gravitum, he's going to hold down the fort.
I think there is a cool line where you need to keep your Tailstones for your next swing. You need to look for the playing a cat and transforming your another unit into another cat. The problem is just like when the opponent will be playing a Vengeance or just some sort of removal on the cat, when you transform the other one unit into it on the stack when it's attacking, so you can sneak in the lethal. The problem is, you see this integrate that was created, which will, cross the plan.
There's a lot of answers here. It's not looking too good. Biotac really falling behind in terms of resource generation. Again, has a lot of reactivity, but when you don't put on pressure versus this back alley bar, this third one that was found, it always has the potential to run away with the game. Here comes Time Trick offering up delicacies for Kaiser to take his choice of.
Would you like a left Seraphine or right Seraphine?
And it looks like he's a right Seraphine gamer, because she is 7 out of 9.
That looks like a decent Seraphine. And it's gonna be very rough for Baya to defend from this.
Yeah, we still have the Hexite Crystal and the Reveler's Feast, which would be the new spells to level up Seraphine. I wonder if we could get a double up on the Reveler's Feast. It is a new card from the World Under expansion to be an AoE buff, and Biotac is forced into the Pursuit of Perfection to summon the Cataclysm here with the attack token.
Kaiser can take it.
We have Defective Swap Bot, we have the...
Yeah, that's one, and he can transform another unit into it. He can transform Gorlith into that as well.
Biotac just smirking, shaking his head, sees that this card was generated from back alley barkeep. There is no way to predict a card like this. It will become a 30-30, and the Cataclysm becomes a 4-3.
That's such a cool play. Like, it's so devastating. You kill opponent's unit, and you just... yoink the stats.
Yeah, beat boop, give
you don't get the keyword.
Green numbers, and then the Gravitum, you've got to stun here so that this thing doesn't swing on you next turn. Biotac has so much responsiveness, but there's just not good targets.
He can just transform his elusive into 30-30 and it's lethal.
Okay. That'll be Kaiser's
Kaiser is attacking. Oh yeah, it's still bias run.
I know, there's so many cards flying around, you don't even know who's going to attack, but...
Yeah, he's just gonna wipe the board with the crystal probably here. Just play the just go for the flip Sera and yeah, crystal up. Yeah, wait for opponent to oh, I mean, twice he goes from this line. Huh.
Yeah, just goes for the Tailstones into the Aftershock.
I think 30-30 elusive was more tempting than killing Aphelios.
Yeah, I mean, that's just such a swag play, right?
I mean, you could kill Aphelios anyway.
Yeah. There was maybe Kaiser thought that the Telson was going to level Seraphine or something. But
maybe he forgot that he already played one Aftershock.
Yeah.
But it was not Telstone's Aftershock. Very often players are forgetting about that.
so now with the monkey business coming down to level the Seraphine, we have access still to the doubled up Hexite Crystal to wipe the board, set up for lethal here on the open attack. Even with the stun 30-30, I think it will do it. Gorlith hits for 4, 7,
I mean, you have
9,
this
10, and then the Reveler's Feast. We can just sacrifice the stun swap bot. That's going to get doubled by Seraphine. That's going to be AoE plus 4 damage. I hopefully Kaiser will see this line, and there it is. Ooh, uses it on the tough unit, yeah, and deal 2 to an ally.
That's a board.
Right, and the Hexobliterator to wipe the board.
I don't on my screen, just that one video. Like how often do you hear him?
Let's look one more time.
It's not it, but looking green as well. Onto the dust, okay, let's draw. Sure.
All right.
Oh, he went for recall on the Seraphine. Okay.
Interesting.
Wait.
Серия убийств.
Keeps the lead and
Double
follow.
kill.
So I wonder if Kaiser is thinking, I can lead and follow to get the Gorlith back, replay it to reheal it, make a bigger additional threat.
I think he just misclicked. I think there is no point overthinking it.
There was
I
a
think
lot
he
of
just
really
pressed
good
on
options
space,
there.
or he just clicked too fast. I think he wanted to play the definitely the recall Seraphine.
And now back alley Bar. Barkeep gives Mind Meld. We've got the Swole Scout, another Tellstone as well. A lot of fuel for Viatak here. Just needs to get one more blocker here. Honestly, you can just let the Gorlith hit now.
surprised-
Just block 30-30. Kaiser letting it go.
I'm surprised he's not pressuring the whole Baya. Like he could have went for the cycle this turn, he could have removed the Barkeep, and he would still have mana for Vengeance this turn.
That we thought was marked for Victor is going now onto this swap bot. Build your own Cataclysm.
There are ways to deal with it. You have double Tellstones, which solved the problem. You can just transform it into Gorlith. You can transform it into your own Barkeep. It's better to transform it in your own unit because it forces for opponent to Vengeance from Gorlith. I mean, eventually he has the answer for that play, but he goes for it.
Yep, so here's the Tellstones.
Oh, he goes for the stun first.
Helios. Okay. Picks up the Graviton. Now we have the Hextech Transmodulator to get out of this jam.
So we're gonna see a recall on the Gorlith, or we're gonna see a Vengeance on the Gorlith.
Yep, just transforming that down.
Wait.
By attack.
I think he thought for a second.
Once.
Yeah, I thought maybe he thought that he's transforming into Barky for a second and just hover there the guard.
Yeah, so Kaiser destroys his own Gorlith the Unscalable.
I think he missed the recall part.
That's going to be the surrender. Kaiser taking game number 2, getting the Seraphines, getting the back alley bars, allows him to generate so many different threats, a variety of options to pressure Viatak, who is kind of trying to play a reactive game based on that hand. And there's really no way to keep up with the amount of different things that Kaiser was able to employ that game.
That was absolutely disgusting. That was really like one of the top-notch throws from the
And so now for game number 3, we're going to see once more that back alley bar Seraphine deck versus Feel the Rush. How do we feel about this matchup, Alan? All
What's
right.
going on?
The best hands. We got the Catalyst on 5. We got Trundle to hold down the fort. Viatak can just pass and pass until Fan Club President into back alley bar.
Yeah. Oh, and the Victor on top. Wow. I would have kept the Phantom though, probably. Because it's a very good curve into Barkeep, and there are plenty of good 5 mana spells into the matchup.
Yeah, this is going to be a matchup where Viatak is, going to play Ferris, hopefully find that Celestial Impact, things like that. Gravitum does a lot to keep you alive in this matchup, just to stop one half of
And he
Killer
got
Rush.
Sunburst, the absolutely goat of the matchup. You can take down Trundle, you can take down Tryndamere, it's just remove a champion card. Really good.
Yeah, the silence plus that damage is so key for getting around that Tryndamere level up. And Ballistic Bot hitting the board early means this is going to be a consistently scaling threat that Kaiser needs to worry about. Faces of the old ones come through, activates. We also have that Catalyst now.
Would you like to run?
I would absolutely love to ramp. Actually going to play the Mysticism here. You get the ramp and also a nice little 2-2 as a bonus.
Yeah, and after if you take some damage, maybe some healing. Just a casual 12 to hit.
This Killer Rush is going to come down way earlier, I think, than by attack is really anticipating, especially with the back alley bar.
The bigger threat in this matchup is Shift Wonders, because it just takes away your whole hand. Like, it takes away all your threats, and it takes away your champions, which is really problematic.
And hit that stairs is Kaiser on.
Hit that stairs, we're gonna have 3 that stairs.
Oh my goodness, the back bars, it's curtains.
Противник убит.
One She Who Wanders, 3 It That Stairs, going to try to line that up with the back alley bars, and if by attack doesn't drop them down, not putting on enough pressure means that Heal the Rush.
Союзник убит.
Taking a pass here.
Yeah, so this is a clearly... Do you have a handle?
Yeah, 5 mana up with the Sunburst. Kaiser wants to respect. I wonder if you just let this go and play the Catalyst.
That's
it, Rip.
Okay. Because we can just pick it up with the Tavern Keeper. Now you have to plan when do you want to play FTR. Because now if you follow it up next turn with the Trundle, you are staring at 8 mana. Then you can follow up with the Pillar into the FTR, and that will just close the game for you. When there's no removal or just one card that can remove.
Yeah, even at the last World Championships, you know, Feel the Rush ended up being this wild card pick that really lined up well into that particular metagame. Caught a lot of players off guard that weren't accounting for that deck, and Kaiser has been, you know, steadfastly piloting this Feel the Rush. Got a little bit greedy in one matchup, was punished by the champion strength, and now is trying to run it back here and stay alive in this group. Game number 3 versus the favorite by attack.
He decided to take out the vault with the rapid now.
Yeah, you need to float mana here. We're going into round 8. As long as you can float 3, we have to Feel the Rush next turn, and then sets up a beautiful open attack once you get that token back. And it lines up beautifully with the Trundle. So
He's looking very good.
Vitek doesn't want to respond to the Trundle here. Just goes for the Hex Core upgrade. Gets elusive on Victor. More pressure.
So if he doesn't respond because he's playing always Barking here.
Yep.
It's never anything can't be. Oh wow!
Wow! And the back alley bar actually makes Kaiser play the Tavern Keeper. Wants to keep up on board, wants to put down some pressure. Now that there's no more mana left, is confident that he can swing in with the Trundle as well to get a nice little trade here with the regeneration. So this is going to delay the Feel the Rush. And I guess Kaiser's okay with that, saying, I'll just play it on my attack token.
The problem with that is, like, you know that you see the grab in the opponent's hand. And like, that's why you want to develop the FTR on your phone. So you don't have to deal with it.
So here comes the Ice Killer Trundle leveled up. We're going to get a refund of that 8 mana. Vulnerable goes over onto the Victor. That means that Kaiser will be able to drag him out next turn if he stays alive here.
I mean, he can't really deal with Victor without losing Trundle here.
Pickpocket comes through. Another little value generator, and now Victor is leveled up.
I mean, the reason why he played it because he wanted to pump the Victor damage, so he cannot trade with the Trundle efficiently. That's why not a Barkeep first, but the Campack, because obviously he would just go with the Campack here, with the Barkeep, because it's just way cleaner here. Yeah, wait, that's bias attack token. I am tripping.
It's very, very tight here, where players are trying to play around when they're getting the attack token, trying to float enough mana here. With Feel the Rush, this is where things get really tight, right?
So what he did here,
put pressure on.
Okay, so Kaiser didn't have a read. Like I completely missed the attack token. So the reason why he didn't play second Barkeep, because he was very scared of Heated Stairs. And Kaiser didn't recognize that he has the second Barkeep because he exactly went for the 6 mana pass. Because like he didn't recognize he can bluff Heated Stairs here. It's way more powerful than just playing the Tavern Keeper.
And so now with 2 bars in play, by the time Heated Stairs comes down, Biotech will have gotten way too much value. Here comes Ferris Financier scooping up a monster harpoon.
Isn't it just a dead Trundle? He can Trundle next turn. He can stun another one. He can clear almost whole board next turn. The problem is with playing Tavern Keeper, you cannot play second one because you have no board space for that. It's the rush,
Variant Ice now means that you still aren't threatening lethal. It is a nice little stopgap measure. Kaiser to go for the Feel the Rush, absorb the Gravitum, and just try to survive one more round.
Oh, I think we just, like, it's too vulnerable. Like, if you go for this, you can just die next turn. You just bury the nice, opponent has to override his stuff. Next turn you play Feel the Rush defensively, and then you open attack. Then you don't have to worry about Gravitum. You have to just deal with opponent stuff throwing spells at you, but that's way more
especially after that second back alley bar came down. We've got a lot of random cards in Biotech's hand. You have to be aware of as much as you can. Gravitum comes through to stop Trundle number 2. We still have Tryndamere beautifully swinging in, taking down this Victor. This is super important as well because Tryndamere still gets to swing true and level up, and now this scaling threat of Victor will go down. But I mean, with 2 bars and an Aphelios still in play, Biotech probably doesn't feel like he's under too much pressure from this position.
I mean, there is only a consideration of Atro, and that's pretty much it. And if you can answer the Atro, and he's gonna play probably Piercing Darkness soon. The question is he gonna play? Is he gonna be going for the kill on the Tryndamere, the second level up bar, or he's just gonna deal with the Trundle 10-7?
That's hard to say. Now that the Tryndamere is leveling up, the Sunburst loses a little bit of viability there, but with the discounts, you don't feel as bad,
I mean,
right? Of having to dump a bunch of resources into these bigger units.
Next turn he can just kill the Trundle with it. It's not like it's a big deal. You still remove a big threat from the board. And you are like, you don't worry about Tryndamere because it's not enough damage. It's a bigger threat on the board than the Tryndamere.
What do you think about Biotech actually sacrificing the Aphelios here too?
I'm trying to figure out what his game plan is, but he's just assuming this Aphelios will die protected, so he might as well just give it up on it. So what I'm thinking, that next turn we'll see probably Sunburst on that 10-10 with the Caustic Reef, the new card. We're gonna see after. And like what's gonna happen, Tryndamere will pop next turn, Trundle will die, and Baya decided just to go for outgrind and not worry about killing his opponent. So he just decided to full trade, not worry about the board, and go from there. Also, there is a lot of cards.
Because Biotech has so many spells in hand, you know, if a She Wanders comes through, it's not going to wipe all of the threats out of the hand. We've even got Pursuit of Perfection. Not going to be super great in this matchup, but if Seraphine comes through and you 2 of them, you're also getting blockers for the Feel the Rush.
So I would be very surprised if we don't Sunburst open on the Trundle now. Ooh, wait a second.
Ваша башня уничтожена.
We see Spell Thief. How would you feel about 10-10 Seraphine?
Spell Thief. Biotech is calculated.
Ваш ингибитор уничтожен.
Я не умирал. По кузне соскучился. Буду бить, пока минералы не посыпятся.
Враг стал легендой.
включен.
Союзник убит. Стал легендой.
Дальше нет. День без работы прожит зря. Враг сделал даблкил. Враг сделал триплкил. Враг в ярости. Наша башня уничтожена. Эйс! Призыватель вышел из игры.